Hey divas, welcome back to another little dolly video. I'm sorry if my hands are shaky. I'm just very excited right now. As you can see here, I've got the Girl of the Year for 2025, Miss Raquel Reyes from the American Girl collection. Now, I don't know if you knew this about me, but I love me a good American Girl doll. I have more than this. I lost Julian Ivy, and I still can't sleep at night because of it, but yeah, I'm an American Girl collector, and I finally got an American Girl doll of the year, literally the same year that she released, thankfully. But this is even more important and special to me because my boyfriend got her to me, or for me, as a gift, and we got to go down to the nice little center and see everybody and all of the little dollies in the cages, displays. And yeah, here we have the window to the little box. As you can see, she just has this like very cute like graphic design at the top. It says Girl of the Year 2026 with a nice little heart locket with a little bowed ribbon on top of it. And then we have this kind of like striping pattern with more bows and whatnot, as well as the official stock photo for her. Now, I know that this doll has like a mix of like several different face molds, if not like she's a completely new like face mold entirely. I'm still trying to get good at like picking out the ones that are like absolutely symmetrical and perfect looking, but like honestly I'm still human, so I'm not gonna catch all of the like regular other shit that other people can see, but I think mine looks perfect and mine looks very pretty and adorable anyway, so that's all that matters to me. But we have her logo right over here, and it's just promoting the fact that she comes with her little meat book. But really quickly, it was like really cute to see like just the representation of Miss Raquel Reyes like in stores in general, and I like that at least with this release she is representing Latino culture, one of them at least. And you know, it was very nice walking around New York and like being able to see the impact of Miss Raquel Reyes. Like there were so many little girls of every ethnicity walking around with her and carrying her around and babying her, and it was just the cutest like thing to like watch and whatnot. But yeah, this doll is definitely making a really nice impact, and I'm very happy about that because I just really adore the concept of like her literally being a descendant of like one of the OG like original American Girl dolls that like, you know, debuted in like the collection and whatnot. I just think that it's really nice that they like finally decided to come up with a concept for this like after so long. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the original American Girls, like especially the ones that existed like around like more like modern eras of like American like history and whatnot, like definitely would have had like descendants by now or something, or like, you know, other, you know, children or relatives that like, you know what I mean, would be a part of their story that, you know, would necessarily like not have been the focus like when they were like, you know, in their young like characters, but like, you know what I mean, like obviously being a descendant of the original girl makes her a little bit more like interesting, you know what I mean? Gives her a little bit more like, I guess, depth and like intrigue and mystery as a character, because like, you know, what really did end up happening with like Miss Samantha Parkington? Like how did that little girl grow up to be, you know what I mean? But yeah, in the next clip, Miss Diva over here is just gonna be out of the box. Here we've got Miss Raquel Reyes out of her box, and this adorable sweet little thing is literally just the best dressed like American Girl doll that I have, in my opinion, honestly. I really love how like extremely contemporary but like really on trend and like age appropriate her outfit is, honestly. Before we get into anything else, I'm just gonna start off with the fact that she has this like very pretty kind of like square necked, like almost medieval kind of looking like peasant top looking dress, and it has this like gingham print on it, very reminiscent of like, you know, the gingham print that they used on Samantha's, but it's obviously in different colors, you know what I mean? But I like that there's a subtle callback, you know what I mean? And here we just have some like very obvious frills right at the bottom of this like little shirt or whatever. I thought it was a dress, it was kind of fooling me, but this is a two-piece now that I'm looking at it. So this is kind of just like a medieval looking like square neck peasant top with like a kind of like stretchy like fabric over here right along the torso and whatnot. And as you can see along the sides, it's just got these little like kind of dark like maroon ribbons and whatnot, or like a dark purple on both of them. And like going down to her shoes really quickly, which are very pretty, by the way. They're just these like strappy like chunky like wedges and they only have like a very short platform, but I do think that these look very good on like the American Girl dolls because I just despise flats. I don't know why, even like on me in general, like on me a human, I like just love chunky shoes and like platforms, and I love it whenever the dolls can wear like platforms, even the American Girls. But yes, they just have these two little like maroony dark purple ribbons, kind of like the sides of her like sleeves and whatnot. And then moving on to this gorgeous face over here, as you can see, she kind of has this like very like defined like looking eyebrows, and they look very like combed out or whatever. And she has these painted on lashes, and I know a lot of people hate the painted on lashes, but like I really don't mind. I think they look really pretty. I think it makes the doll look a lot more like expressive, and like I don't think that these dolls look that it makes the dolls look cheap. I don't know why people think that. I think it's just like hierarchies in like the doll community, because they're like, oh, like I don't want this to start looking very like our generation-y or like my life as-y, but like honestly I don't really think that that's much of a a concern. Like that shouldn't be much of like a critique or like a read, you know what I mean? Because these dolls don't really have like much makeup painted on them anyways, but like the extra eyelashes kind of just like makes them look a little bit more like, you know, expressive and feminine in my opinion. But I think she has like very slight like orange blushing on her cheeks. I think my camera's kind of picking it up very like subtly. And then moving on to these little like lips that she has with her buck teeth. They're kind of this like reddish like burnt orange tone, and they're like very shimmery, which I find very, very pretty. It looks like she has a little bit of lip gloss on and mascara. And then we obviously just have the like regular like sleep eyes with like the lashes and whatnot. And moving on to the top of her head, she's just got this little like half up, half down ponytail. And like it's supposed to be held up with this like little ribbon. Or they want it to look like that, but it's obviously got this little hair elastic and the ribbon over it. And it's just the same little like bow ribbon, like in the same print as the two-piece set that she's wearing. And like obviously Miss Girl is 18 inches tall. I literally have to like move further and further back just to kind of like get her in frame and whatnot. But I think overall she's like really pretty. And I think that if you're like gonna like try to get a girl of the year, you should really try to get her, because I really do like the story, and I do love the fact that she comes with a little book and whatnot. Now moving on to her like color blend really quickly. It's just this like really jet black hair with like very light like chocolate brown streaks of like, you know, brown in it or whatever. It looks very one tone, but like I know there are like very subtle like, you know, low lights in them and whatnot. And like I said before, she's just got this up in like a half up, half down hairstyle. And I'm not sure if y'all can see here, but she's got like a, not deep side part, but like her wig has just like a side part in general, which like I don't mind. And like I can't see any like defects with mine. I'm not really like her face isn't reading as like unsymmetrical. I really do love the doll that I was able to get. Me and my boyfriend looked through several, like on multiple different shelves, and like I wasn't seeing many like defects on like the face paint in general, or like the eyes, or like the wig placement, but like, you know, I'm just glad I wasn't able to find, you know, many, because she's the most darling, like adorable, prettiest little thing, you know what I mean? And obviously over here, you can just see her like little cloth body, because as you know, these American girls have the vinyl heads and like limbs and whatnot, but like they've got the soft bodies. And then moving on really quickly to her book over here, it just comes in this little like cardstock like American Girl like packaging. I know that they used to come in plastic, but like I'm glad they did away with that. But here we have the Diary of Raquel Reyes, Girl of the Year 2026. And the gorgeous artwork of her on the beach with her little doggy. And it says, Samantha Parkington's family, today, exclamation point. And this is just by Angela Cervantes. And obviously we've just got the American Girl logo over here. And then the back of the book with the little summary. I'm just gonna like hold that very steady so y'all can pause and read that if you want to. And it's just got these little dolphins on it, and like the like, you know, regular price and the Canadian price. But yeah, I think this is the cutest thing, and I'm definitely gonna be reading it because it looks like a very, very short read. And you know, I'm glad that at least we get to see more Latina representation in the Girl of the Year lineup, you know what I mean? And bonus points that it's literally Samantha's like, you know, descendant, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm really loving this doll, and like I can't wait to like get more outfits for like my 18-inch girlies so that I can go ahead and like do more fashion shows with them and just like dress them up in like, I guess, better clothes, like less juvenile looking clothes, you know what I mean? Because like I know that they obviously come with like stories and like most of them have like attached characters and whatnot, but like in my head they're literally just the same age as me but like tiny. And they just literally like occupy space and like, you know, chill out and hang out and whatnot. I only really see some of them as like the characters that they are, obviously, but it's like mostly just the historical girls who I view as their character, not really the contemporary girls or like the truly me's or just like yous or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm really loving the way that she's looking, and like this design in general is just like very cute. I think that we have very similar skin tones, and like I really love these brown eyes. They're kind of like a very like light shade of brown and not like a very dark shade, but nonetheless they're brown and they're very, very pretty and expressive at least. And as y'all know, American girlies have the sleep eyes, so she will go to sleep when you tilt her backwards and lay her down and whatnot. And I didn't get mine with her ears pierced and whatnot because that obviously would have costed a lot extra and like wasted a lot more time. But yeah, I think that this diva is very pretty, and like if you're thinking of getting her and picking her up, I honestly think that you should. American Girl dolls are like very good quality. I know a lot of people still complain about the quality on them today, but like, you know, if you can go in person and like get yourself one, you honestly should. But like honestly, even if you can't go in person and if you want one, just like, you know, order one. Even if you don't need to, like, you don't necessarily even need to go to like the American Girl website. Like you can still find a whole bunch like secondhand, like, you know, on the secondhand shopping apps. But like, yeah, here we just have another pan of this gorgeous Kanekalon hair. Now this is kind of like regular like human wig Kanekalon grade, honestly. And like not human as in like the hair fiber, but I mean like this is the same grade of Kanekalon that they use on like human wigs and whatnot. So it's like really good quality and whatnot. Although I will say that like our generation has like either saran hair or like that very like heavy, like very high quality looking nylon. So but like it's obviously different because our generation has rooted hair. But like, yeah, I wonder if American Girl is ever gonna like switch up the hair type or like hair fiber for these dolls, you know what I mean? Because they've been using this hair fiber for like a long time. But it's like really nice on her, and like this little girlie just looks like, you know, she's about to have a petite little fun time, you know what I mean? And like I will say that her face mold is very different from like the classic face mold. I don't exactly think that it's like any existing face mold, if I'm not mistaken. It looks a little bit like it could be like the Joss face mold, but like I'm not entirely sure. I have to do a little bit more research on this face because I know that certain American girls get different, you know, facial screenings these days, and they've been releasing a lot more dolls with like different faces, and I'm all here for that, honestly. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure which like face sculpt this is. This might be like an entirely like new one that they like released like and debuted with like this dolly right over here. But yeah, I'm overall really liking her character design and like just the lore like that she already like has established anyways. Even without having to like read her book, like just knowing that she's Samantha Parkington's like descendant is just like very cool to me. And I do really love the like callback within like the print and pattern that they used or whatever for like her meat outfit, because like I said, it's not the same colors that they used for Samantha, but you know, it's the same pattern, you know what I mean? Just like with different like colors that look a bit more like, you know, feminine and I guess like girly and pleasing to the eye or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this little diva doll, you guys. I also forgot to mention before, but she comes with this like tiny little like golden like bow looking headband or like ring or like whatever this is supposed to be. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with her story, but it was taped to the side of the inside of her box and whatnot. But yeah, I thought that was really cool to mention. Once I figure out what this is, I'm gonna like put it on her and like see what this is actually supposed to be. But it might even be a bracelet actually. But yeah, I thought it was really cool to mention that she came with this. It's like a little extra accessory besides her like meat book and like the little hair ribbon that she comes with. This is like a little extra thing that they packed in, which is really cool. I will say that going to American Girl NYC and like getting this doll in person was also such an incredible experience. Like just the displays that they had for Raquel and like just the dolls in general were like incredibly immaculate, and like I'm, you know, specifically just gonna talk about Raquel's display like right now, but like I think everything was like incredibly put together. I think that the employees definitely don't get enough credit for like creating a really nice atmosphere and for like going ahead and keeping that store like very, very neat and like keeping the displays very, very nice. A lot of the stuff is like obviously behind like, you know, these like cases and whatnot, so like you can't like grab at it and like touch some of the things, but like even the stuff that like is in plain sight that you can fiddle around with, it's like very like neatly organized, or at least it was when like me and my boyfriend were there. But yeah, I think that overall this diva is like really, really iconic, and like she's just got like already such a great like story kind of like going for her, already being Samantha Parkington's like descendant and whatnot, great granddaughter. But yeah, I really hope y'all like this little review, and like I really would love to start uploading more American Girl content. It's just that, you know, getting new dolls takes up like a lot of space, and you know, some of the official like clothes that you can get right now like from the brand like online are like, you know, a little expensive, but I definitely do feel like I could like be searching on eBay and like finding really like good lots, and like I guess just like good separates that like aren't American Girl branded but like, you know, still fit these divas. But like, yeah, got my little mini-me hanging out with Miss Raquel Reyes over here. Now, this little mini-me that I have is from our generation, and I don't think that he is being made anymore. But I ordered him because American Girl doesn't make a boy doll in this skin tone anymore. They fucking discontinued him, or what they like to call retired. They fucking retired him a couple of years ago, and like a couple of other, you know, dolls of color in general, and it's like, I love that brand, but they have such like a bad reputation with like retiring their dolls of color. And like I know that like American Girl is not about the boys at all, like that's not what the whole thing is about. They want to empower like, you know, young girls like who are going to be the next generation of young women. I get it, but if you're gonna offer, you know, like a different gender, and then you're gonna offer like different skin tones, like don't go ahead and retire those skin tones, if like knowing damn well that like customers want like boy dolls in that skin tone, you know what I mean? So I just have this Our Generation doll right over here, and he's wearing an American Girl outfit from back in the day. It's got some embroidery on this little beret, and like I know it like sits very low on him, and he's a little bit like stained up on his forehead, but like I don't really give much of a crap. I think he looks enough like me when my hair isn't dyed, you know what I mean? And I just really love this like corduroy jacket that he's got on. And I put this like little white t-shirt on him that's like just a bit stained, so I am gonna need to clean that, but he's just wearing his jeans that he came in, as well as the original like Julie Albright's like shoes and whatnot, because I did used to have Julie and Ivy, but I literally lost them while I was moving, and I literally have not gotten over it since. I need to replace both of those dolls like now. But yeah, here we have like a different like facial difference. I know that this one is meant to be a boy, but like he honestly looks girl doll pretty, so like I will excuse it. As you can see, there's like different plastic used, and like she's obviously much newer and like just came out, so like she's unscratched up, she's not shiny looking, she's just like very matte looking. But like I will say that like the eye colors like are slightly like different, you know what I mean? Because this is like a deep dark brown, and like this is definitely like a lighter tone brown. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this little diva doll overall, and she's just a really neat addition to my collection. And yeah, I hope y'all liked that video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye y'all.